Alrighty everybody, welcome back to the next episode of Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. Serph only... Oh. Well anyways, welcome back everybody. This is going to be the final part. We're just slowly making our way through the final dungeon. One of my favorite things about this dungeon is the floor puzzles. They can take you down, left, or right. Once you learn the gimmick, the puzzles are pretty straightforward, and honestly, I quite enjoy it. Also, don't forget about Mombadoon. I lost over 40 minutes of progress right there. Yay. I take the time to master a couple of mantras. First, we get Evil God, which gives us the best spells ever, known as Debilitate and Null Death. Trust me, Null Death is going to come in handy. Debilitate is a -1 to all stats. Probably one of the best debuffers in the game. We learn and master Insane God, which in turn gives us, I don't care about that skill, Dekaja and Dekunda. Now we can get rid of debuffs on ourselves. Taking a little side trip from freaking doing the final dungeon, I was getting really exhausted from it. It's a slog of a final dungeon, but I quite enjoy it. Talking to this guy tells us some funny dialogue. Where have I heard that song before? But anyways, if you head through this door, you can find access to the Samsara tunnels again. So yay, more sewer level. The only thing I have to say about the sewer is, be careful, there's some strong enemies here. It's a great place to grind for money. And once you get to the end of the sewer, we encounter probably one of the scariest enemies in the game. Weaselbub is back, and he's in his fly form. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably one of the hardest fights so far in the game. Ridiculously high, but luckily we null his elemental attacks with null element. We cannot be killed by his instant death skills. He crits like crazy, even with null crit. It actually just reduces the chance of criticals. The whole point of this fight is literally controlling the flow of the battle. His damage output can get sky high, so debilitate him. But after about 3 or 4 debilitates, he'll use Dekunda on himself. He can also use it on you too to get rid of any of your buffs, so just be careful. Dekaja, there we go. That's what I meant. After a couple of debilitates, always use a mind charge, and then Augudine is the way to go for damage. Trust me, this is a slug fight. Also, fun thing, if you throw Null Expel on, he loses so many turns. In Phase 2, he starts using Mahomon, which is Expel, Null Expel, and you're immune to both Elements, Death, and Expel damage. So, if he uses a magic, you take his turns away. If he uses Mahomon, you take his turns away. So, yay! One thing I did not underestimate in this fight was Graven Image. That is the MVP of this fight. It freed up a skill slot, so that way I have constant healing. Doesn't use any MP. Just keep debuffing and keep attacking him. Whenever he uses Dekunda, always try to get a debilitate on him. If he uses Makakaja, I really don't pay attention to it much, because Megadolion, it hurts, but it's survivable. But if he uses Terukaja on himself and buffs his melee, that's when you gotta start worrying. Whenever he tries it, I always try to do a Dekuja on him to get Dekuja. Oh my gosh! I try to get his physical damage back down to normal, if not minus. But once you finally get the flow of battle in your favor and you start fully understanding his strategy, the only things you really have to worry about is his physical attacks, his death flies, which can instant kill you, but since we have null death, we're fine. Megadolion, which can hurt us, but it's not that bad. I just usually always heal off the damage. And his most scariest thing is Mind Scream. I hate Mind Scream. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. The fact that it can stun you is horrible. But once you get everything going and you get your groove going, this battle is a piece of cake. It's literally just a brawling match. That's what it boils down to. Who can outlast each other in this war of attrition? Oh my golly. 2 level ups, Master 6 realms, and a couple of nice little items past him. This fight was intense. Like, it took me about like 30-40 minutes intense. I was underestimating how hard that fight would have been. But anyways, and then after you get through the rest of the tunnels, you finally get to these treasures that have been teasing me since the beginning of the game. We get a Magatama, which is the strongest bullet in the game. It's awesome. I won't use it, obviously. The other item you get is a high deaths reusable item, only in battle, obviously. And the last item is a Tyrant Skull, used to unlock a mantra in the mantra grid. After you actually kill Beelzebub and grab that Tyrant Skull, you get access to the High Priest mantra, which gives you Beelzebub's skills. Awesome! The next optional location we're going to is inside the Solid's base. Inside of this room, there's now a new exit. And lo and behold, it takes us to the sewers. Past the blue gate, you just gotta do a little bit of puzzle shenanigans. I do recommend being careful, because down here you can run into Samael, which are really strong enemies. They can take you out of demon form, they can crit you like crazy, and they can give you instant death, so make sure you have resist death on. A little deeper inside the sewers, and we come across our next boss we're going to be taking on. Highly recommend null poison, null mute, null magic element, because this guy likes to spam. He's not particularly tough, but he gets 7 press turns. It's not a hard fight, it just takes a long time. But you null magic, you null poison. If you have a resist physical on and null critical, he really can't do much to you. It took about maybe like a couple of minutes. You're mostly losing your time in this fight due to all of his turns he can do. Other than that, it really wasn't that hard of a fight. He was easy. If you continue down the pathway after defeating the boss, you'll come into the Brute's base. It takes a while to get through the passageway, but once you do, you'll come across an item on a dead body known as the Red Ring. It's very important, so I recommend getting it now instead of having to backtrack later to get it. Alright, back inside the Karma Temple, we're continuing onwards. No more sidetracking, let's get to the end of the game. We come across a mini-boss, 2 birds. The first one, he likes to buff you and debuff you with taunt, and then he likes to take it away. So he likes to leave you at minus defense. Not too hard, couple of last words, he goes down fast. Alright, part 2 of this fight, his backup shows up, Garuda. This guy's a little bit harder, he likes to focus more on melee, but he still can hit you with magic, and since we null element, that gives us free turns. Anyways, buff up, last charge, he goes down in no time. Getting closer to the end of the dungeon, you'll come across this red wall. Remember it for later, because it will be very important for a side quest. Alright, moving on. Alright, final challenge of the Karma Temple, Anata. He looks intimidating, or she, maybe it's a guy, I'm not too sure. But it's just like a Rochi, just easier. Put on null element, null nerve, null panic. You're good to go. Don't worry about buffing too much because he has Dekunda and Dekaja. Just smack him with a couple of Mind Charge last words and he dies in no time.
These are clouds?
What the hell? Whoa! This don't look good.
Stop! I'll do anything you say! Please! Don't delete them! Sarah!
Is that Angel?
Thank you for coming. I intended on bringing you back, but plans have changed. This matter no longer concerns you, so why don't you be good little children and leave?
We've had enough of your damn orders! We're taking Sarah to Nirvana. So get your snobby bitch ass out of the way!
Stop them.
Stay back!
What are you doing to us, Sarah?
I'm glad that we could say goodbye. Don't. You can't. Please stay back. Stay where you are, sir.
Damn it!
Please stop. I beg you.
You are beautiful. To survive, you devour others. A demon epitomizes karma in its simplest form. That should not be wasted. But your hopes and beliefs are utterly worthless. At last we shall see the maturation of the seed I have sown in you!
Bring it on!
Alrighty, final boss time. What can I say about this fight besides I die. I die a lot. Alrighty, it's time for the real fight. I have her strategy down. The whole goal about phase 1 is to get through her 2 forms 2 times each, 1000 HP per form. I weaken her, but she has Dekunda, you gotta be careful with that. It's pretty much just mind charging, Agidine. Don't worry too much for Hunger Wave, because if you get hit by Hunger, Sarah can heal you. I have Null Death on, so she can't kill me with her stoning ability. Null Element to make magic useless against me. Once you inflict 1,000, she'll transform into her attack form. This is the scary part. Keeping my HP at max pretty much guarantees that she cannot kill me with her unique ability, which is a heavy almighty attack. And if she uses any elemental skill, it's pretty much a free turn. She cannot buff or debuff in this form, so weaken her as much as possible, because they stick for the next round, which makes killing her defense form a lot easier. After enough beating, she goes to her second phase. Alright, final fight. To start off with, each one of her little orbs, they block an element. Earth, wind, lightning, fire, ice, and physical. Don't think about cheesing this fight with almighty attacks, because she takes, what, I think like 90% reduced damage from almighty. Pretty much, as long as the orbs are up, she can't take damage from any of the elements that are available. So my strategy here is to power myself up with Mind Charge and then Materadine to kill off all but the Earth Cube. Don't worry about getting hungered, because Sarah will jump in and save you on your next turn. Pretty much just keep my health topped up when I can. Nothing that she has in her arsenal can kill me. Charm is a little scary, but Hunger can overwrite Charm, because she can charm you in this fight. It's pretty much just rotating, buffing, killing the orbs, buffing, and pray to God she doesn't respawn the fire orb, because I'm hitting her with amp and boosted Aguilau. Sorry, it's like 2 in the morning when I'm recording this, so my voice isn't working right. But yeah, it's just rinse and repeat. Keep going over and over, and eventually, this monster of an angel will fall. This fight took me forever, because she likes to stall quite a lot.
Impossible! Do you have any idea what you've done? No. Everything will disappear. Nothing can stop it!
The gate! Run to the gate! You too!
that's it, everybody. Can you beat Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga with Serph only? Yes. Yes, you can. That was fun. Really enjoyable, too. But I feel like I'm missing something. Let's go back in time for a second and, like, what if we go revisit some areas? Alrighty, first off, I forgot to record it. Outside the Karma Temple, before you go to the final boss, there's a guy you can talk to, and he tells you, hey, boss, some really strong demons have appeared out of the junkyard. Well, back in the Vanguard's base, we can encounter the first one. She's quite tough. Let's go. There isn't really much to say about this fight. For one of the first in-game optional bosses that you can take on, well, before the final boss, all I have to say is debilitate, 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 buff, 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 and last word till she's dead. That's really all I gotta say about this fight. Alright, back inside the Brute's base is where the second one will be that we fight. Okay, Long the Dragon. Now this one is much more difficult. He likes the buff constantly. If he uses Makukaja, just don't worry about it. He's going to try to hit you with a magic spell, and since I have Null Element on, it doesn't do anything. His physical attacks, on the other hand, try to debuff him whenever he can. Whenever he can, I mean whenever you can. But in between, buff yourself, mind charge yourself, and smash him with a good last word. It took a little bit, and it took me a couple of tries, but I ended up getting him down. Don't mind his heal spam. He really can't do much about it. Alright, back at the Solids base, we'll be taking on the third boss. Now this one is difficult because he just has so many damn defenses. He's immune to physical, he's immune to earth magic, he's immune to elements. Your only choice here is to spam last word. And no kidding, I mean spam last word. I just kind of just give up on doing buffs because he likes to hit you with Dekunda. But you're able to mind charge, so mind charge, the last word, you get about 550 damage off with my current stats and level. Other than that, it's just a rinse and repeat. He can't do much damage to you until he falls. Alright, grabbing the copper orb, we now backtrack our way out of the facility. Honestly, at this point of the game, I'm getting really annoyed by all these random encounters. But anyways, luckily we got a teleport system. So we get out of the solids base for right now. Alright, back in Manipura, we will be encountering the fourth and final of these 4 bosses. Setting up my skills really fast. This guy is literally just an all-out attacker. I really don't know what to say about this boss fight. It starts off easy, and then it starts getting rough, but then it starts getting easy again. Augidyne's the way to go. Just keep smacking him and smacking him until eventually he dies. I do recommend getting some debuffs on him. He does have access to Dekunda, but he doesn't use it, like, very rarely. Just buff yourself, smack him with an Augidyne. Don't forget to throw a Mind Charge in there for double damage. Other than that, he wasn't that terribly of a boss fight. But the next one... Oh god, the next one. That's the one I didn't like. Back at the Brute Space, once again, these 2 people show up. Talk to them, answer their question. Doesn't really matter, you just need to talk to them. Then head on inside. If it seems like I was rushing through the last couple of boss fights, it's because, well, I kinda am. There's really not much to say. Mind Charge, last word, Mind Charge, Augidyne. That's really the strategy against them. Maybe, I think the turtle guy killed me once and the tiger guy killed me once, but other than that, they were super simple. Anyways, smash the white orb to set up the pathway, and let's go challenge the next boss fight. Alrighty, no joke. Metatron, the Speaker of God, or whatever he is, and whatever his title actually means. The beginning of this fight is pretty simple. I don't really recommend doing what I was doing, casting Debilitate on him, because he'll just Dekunda it off. I find it weird, because sometimes he'll never use Dekunda, and sometimes he'll just spam it like crazy. He also has Dekaja, so don't even try to buff yourself, because he'll just get rid of that too sometimes. I don't have a really good strategy for this. All I can say is just Mind Charge and click Augidyne. I think Last Word would have been a better choice for this because he doesn't resist it at all and he takes normal damage from fire and my Almighty. Well, he takes normal damage from pretty much everything. Other than that, I don't have a strategy. The first half of the fight is easy, but the second half he starts cranking it up. He'll buff himself constantly, and I just don't know when is a good time to heal or to do damage. It was a long and drawn out fight, and it's scary because I was like, dang, He can inflict mute, and I was running desperately low on dismutes. But luckily we have healing completely covered. I got tons of healing items. It's just a battle. It's a struggle. Also, make sure to throw on null expel. It's a lifesaver. His fire Senai, it can hit once or twice. It's a devastating attack. It really is. Especially if he buffs it once or twice. But if he buffs it twice and gets a freaking mind charge off, you can rip your butt goodbye. But if he ever tosses out a normal elemental skill, you're good to go because null element. This took me a long time, and if it wasn't for my stream cheering me on, I would have never finished this fight. But after a long and painful journey, I got there. Goodbye, Metatron. During the next couple of play sessions, I end up mastering the rest of the mantras in the game that I have access to. We only have one boss left to fight before we actually finish the game. So for the past couple of days, because I only play in 2-hour sessions, I end up just mastering all these mantras, getting them all done, getting some levels. And then when I feel like I'm confident, I go and take on the next boss. Alright, back inside the Karma Temple, on a floor with a bunch of teleporting puzzles, you can come across a red gate. Opening up the red gate leads to a door that does not become unlocked until after you kill the 4 previous bosses we fought, not counting Metatron. Anyways, here's my skill setup. I decided to go with Majukaja instead of Dekunda. And we take on Hong Long. He is the strongest boss in the game. He has a wider arsenal of attacks. Null physical is probably the best thing here because he likes to inflict you with a bunch of bad status effects, but null physical gets rid of the status effects. His physical attack is actually almighty. He likes to swap between his forms. He has his neutral, he has his attack, and he has his defense, and he has a bunch of elemental forms. His elemental forms are the easy ones because he likes to spam magic, and since we're immune to magic, we can block a lot. When he goes into his attack form, he has no defenses, so smack him with what you got and give him a good beating. After a bit, he will go into his defense form. Nothing will hurt him. It gives you time to recoup and recover. Seriously though, when he's in his attack form, try to get as much damage as you can out, because he has a whopping 22,500 HP. And every last word with a couple of Makukajas and mind charges do about 5,000 damage. It's just surviving until each phase is ready. But when he's in the red... Now this is what really scared me. He went to his defense form and then immediately went into his attack form. And I was so close to dying here. Alright, this is a long fight, but this is my last word. Ah, yeah. With Hong Long defeated, sorry, his name is hard to say sometimes, you get his golden orb, which allows you to learn his mantra. It took me about like an hour and a half to master his mantra with a lot of grinding, but I ended up getting it mastered. And, with that, I have all of the mantras. To confirm, I hit a save station by heading back up the elevator. We have one last thing to do. We tell Gale that we are ready, make our last ascend up the stairs, pummel the first form of Angel, struggle a tiny bit on the second phase, but we end it with a climactic finish. And we're done. Thank you everybody who watched these videos and gave me support through this. So, can you beat Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga with Serph only? Yes. And no. And what do I mean by that is, when you beat the game, you can start a new game plus, which allows you to transfer over all your mantras that you learned. And you begin with a skill called Human Form, which allows you to stay in your human form in battles instead of your demon form. There's actually a new game plus boss that's only available then, and I don't think it's physically possible to beat by yourself, and I don't feel like playing through the game right now to figure that out. So for a new game playthrough, solo, yes. But for a new game plus playthrough, at this very moment, I don't know. Maybe I'll get around to tackling it? I'm not too sure. I'm already currently working on my next challenge video, and I think I'm just going to do it as one long video instead of splitting up into multiple parts. I did it this way to make maybe think it would be easier for me, but honestly, with how my work life is and the summer heat, it's been kind of chaotic for me. But anyways, thank you for sticking around, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Maybe the sequel. Don't know yet. Goodbye, everybody.